Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how this run works going to Rockport, Arkansas from Dallas, Texas. Now, meet runs, meet run and turns, whatever, they all work about the same, right? You hook your trailers up in Dallas and you go to where you're going and you meet your driver. But a lot of things can come into play. A lot of things can make things good or bad, right? On my last meet run on the Stanton, ran pretty good. We both got out early. We called if there was a problem. You have a good meet man, that makes a lot of the difference. On this run, it's the same, basically the same distance, but going east to Rockport, Arkansas, 585 miles. And I was on this run before, and I've been on that Stanton run. I got used to there not being a whole lot of traffic. Well, coming out east, there's a lot more traffic. It takes at least the same amount of time to run this 585 as it did running the Stanton at about 6:10 to 6:20, depending on hazmat. And of course, this one will be a little more too with the hazmat, which I had today. And that's an extra 10, 15 minutes depending on traffic again. And of course, the construction I forgot about out here. Now, when I was coming out here before, the construction was there, but it's just in different spots. Now there's still construction, more in Texas and not quite as much in Arkansas. Arkansas is done for a while, I think. And but it's still, there's times you got to slow down. And I'm sure there'll be times going out this way where I'll have to figure out a way around, stop traffic somewhere, either because of construction or a wreck or something like that. And when I was going on this run before, a lot of the construction was over in Arkansas, past Prescott and up that way. And I figured out the scenic routes to get around some of that stuff. But I also have to figure out where I'm going to make my little stops. I usually stop twice on the way out and twice on the way back now on this run. And where I've decided that the easiest place to stop on this one is just right off on the exit ramp at the 192. I'm not even sure what town this is near. It might not be around any town, I don't know. But exit 192, there's a wide spot on the exit ramp. It's not too busy. Got plenty of trees down here, which I shouldn't need, right? But it's about 2.5 hours from the yard, and this is where my first stop will be. And the next stop is gonna be in Arkansas at the 54. There's an old rest area there. The restrooms and all that are closed down, and the sign on the road says truck parking open. And cars go in there too, but it's an old rest area. You pull in, it's got lots of spots to the park. You got lots of places on the shoulder of the drive-through lane going through there to park, and that's another good place to park. There's plenty of trees and everything. There's actually some picnic tables and stuff like that in there too. And there's actually a sign at that rest area or parking area that says overnight camping only. So I guess if you're out on the road just bumming around and you got a tent, you can go in there and camp overnight. I guess they just don't want you there more than one night at a time. So and otherwise this run's going pretty good. This truck I'm in, this International, it's a 21. It doesn't have too much of the annoying technology like the even newer trucks have. On this one, if you're going 68 and with the cruise on and you press down the gas, you stay going 67, 68. It's right in there somewhere. On the newer ones, the 23 Freightliners, I know if you're going 68 on the cruise and you press on the gas, it backs you off to 65. And again, I said this before, they're trying to get that reversed and get that fixed so it doesn't do that, because it can really get you into a spot when you need to really stay the same speed and get around somebody, but it backs you off. Other than that, the cruise control on this doesn't quite work as good as the Freightliners as far as keeping your distance from the truck and cars in front of you. This one's a little more jerky. It's not as smooth. The Freightliners was a lot more smoother to keep your distance. This one kind of waits till you get a little bit too close, and then it activates the engine brake and applies the brakes a little bit. So you just got to stay ahead of that on that. The engine brake, not quite as good as on the Freightliners. From what I understand, though, on the Internationals, you can have them adjusted. So I might see about that so they can have a little more bite in them. Other than that, it's pretty comfortable. I'm short, so it doesn't bother me as much. There's not as much leg room in the Internationals, so the tall guys have a problem. They got to put the seat all the way up and all the way back. I like the seat down, and I end up all the way back, and it's still a little tighter than the Freightliner, but it's okay. Other than that, no problems. I had an engine light the other night. They looked it up, and it was a inactive code. Who knows what that's from? I mean, you go along and your fuel pressure might take a glitch and then throw a code. So that's probably what it was, something like that. And I had them change the seatbelt in this truck, and I don't know what these guys do. They use their gloves when they're driving. Maybe it's just city guys. I don't know. But the seatbelt was filthy, and it stunk. And mechanically it was sound, but it was stinky and funky. And I could try to clean it, but the only thing that's going to clean that stuff off there is probably brake cleaner fluid. And the brake cleaner fluid is probably caustic and will probably break down the material of the seatbelt and make it not safe. So I just said, hey, they just ordered me a seatbelt, slapped it in the other day when they checked the engine light. Going good. So that's how this run is running so far. In another video, I'll show you around Rockport at some point. And if anything comes up, we have any problems, breakdowns, I'm sure we'll cover that too. So stick around, watch some more of my videos. I love it when you comment on the videos. Comment, let's get conversations going. That's what makes it fun. Like and share, all that stuff helps me out a lot. If you subscribe to this channel, I really appreciate it. And if you have not yet subscribed, maybe you watched a couple videos, please go ahead and subscribe and get notified of when they come out. And we'll see you later.